Good afternoon, good morning, good morning. I'm not going to say that, so I say good morning. I said I wasn't going to say that. I saw the cat from Thailand, true blue Thai here, for instance. You need to break a habit. I don't know about you guys, etc., but every time I'm trying to break a habit, sometimes, etc., like sometimes I'm like really annoyed, because I don't. I say right, I'm not going to say good afternoon because a lot of people, for instance, are in the morning, in the evening, maybe afternoon in Thailand, but it's not in Thailand. It's not good afternoon everywhere. So, for instance, so it's so good, good day, good. Sawadee cat from Thailand. Sawadee cat, sawadee cat. Sawadee. Hello from Thailand. How are you doing today? For instance, it's the morning in Thailand. It's one of the first time I've done a morning video, and it's game day. It's Saturday morning. Saturday. On Sao. On Sao. For instance, in Thai, the 7th jet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of December, Tanwakam, for instance, and yeah, absolutely, it's game day. Manchester City event, Crystal Palace. And how are we feeling? I'm just doing this guy. I did a preview yesterday. For instance, I listened to Pep's last night and this second video this morning of Pep's interview. What's it called? I listened to him, and it wasn't the most cheerful of interviews, I must say. Pep was, I wouldn't say grouchy, but then again, if you listen to the British media, you have to put up with the constant rubbish, stupid questions, because you want to know, basically, for instance, from this media, who's injured, who's not, who's performing well, how are the good players doing. That's it. All they're doing is looking for the story. The story. And if they can't find the story, they'll make it up, as I'll demonstrate a little bit. And so I have to sit there and listen to because Pep's not going to say again, friends. I always think that what's it called, either the club or somebody like that needs to come out with a list each week and say who's injured, who's not, what's the problem, blah blah blah. And to listen to Pep, etc., it doesn't sound great because we have a numerous of players who have injuries or carrying in injuries or carrying it out. It doesn't sound great. It really doesn't. Knowing the fact that, for instance, what's it called? Knowing the fact that, for instance, of how many injuries or the players who've got out at the moment, and the players, for instance, who are either not injured or like Phil Foden, for instance, has got bronchitis. Who knew that was going to come around the corner? But again, it's just these things what we have to deal with. So at the moment, etc., we've got Rodri. Won't see him until the end of the year or the new year at least. What's it called? At the earliest he wants to play the World Cup, but we'll see. What's it called? Bob hopefully be back in January. Saw on the bench with Kovacic. Another person's out. Hopefully, maybe I don't know. Maybe in the new year. Hopefully with the later in what's it called with the Kovacic. For instance, I think 4 weeks. So hopefully, for instance, we can see Kovacic coming back quickly. John Stones. You'll not know what the story of John Stones. For instance, what how long is he going to be back? I know the question was asked. But he only asked about John Stones. If I was going to report it, I'll ask about all the players, not just one. What's the point of asking about John Stones? You've got about the rest of the players. Kanji, what was it called? What about Aki, for instance? Phil Foden. So yeah, someone asked about Phil Foden. But again, it's a stupid one question. Why do you ask about all the players? Or why can't we have an update and find out who's not, who's right, who's wrong? Before the haters, before the miserable buggers, the more the what's it called, the so-called City fans. Okay, I'm not going to call you out because I'm sick and tired of listening to people moaning about the players. The fact is, who's carrying on? Who's not playing? For instance, who's if I'm walking around with a bandage on my arm and what's going on, clearly, and I'm going into a fist fight, for instance, my God, you can see I'm clearly, for instance, not 100%. So I'm not going to be performing my optimum. So how many players are doing that right now? For instance, because it'd be lovely to know before, for instance, you can say not known to give everything or say the opposition, because the Pep is now the opposition. You say it. Is that what he said? Is that what he said? Is that what he means? For instance, and so for instance, the next until an hour before the game, etc., before the fixture lists are normally released. Okay, but so it's a bit For instance, so you can't say too much. I know Pep can't say too much, but it'd be nice to give us a better update of actually of like what's the story of the squad without actually trying to guess. Because then, for instance, a lot of the I listen to, for instance, is a lot of it's all guess about bit who's not this, who's that. For instance, and um, for me, for instance, it's important that, for instance, to me as a fan, for instance, knows who's fit and who's not. Um, this is big because again, as a fan, for instance, and want to know who's fit and who's not. Um, anyway, so but for instance, from what Pep was saying, etc. For instance, didn't look for some of the players. What's called and Nathan related to John the injury list. Hopefully he should be fit because we need him, really do. You know, we can't have Rico and things like that. Again, I think there was someone was asked about how many defenders were, how many line, how many only games since we've only had a stable line. When you talk about Manchester City and about the squad and how it affects, you've got to take things in consideration. A stable team and unstable back line, you know, players coming in and players coming out. I know they play that probably on their wavelength, etc. But the issues are, for instance, it's not good. Having a stable back line is crucial for instance, for the team, and its stability, and that's the reason why you can't, you know, in the team. What's it called? Which when you bring in players like Lewis, Sabine, and the what's it called? The EDA players, they can fit in rather than actually what's having to be a foundation of the team. Who's played near enough every game gets slagged off apart from the playing and the minutes he was but he knew it. But to listen to of you know, people, uh, people saying, I expect the media like the fan base, all other fan base stuff. For instance, I surprised by fans. It really is. Oh, and look, you should be gone. You should be this, but it doesn't. It's just cloud cuckoo land. If you think that, you've got to understand exactly about what's going on with the team. So, for instance, and you've got to be kind of more pragmatic and open and understand where we are as a team. For instance, we're on a massive run now. What's it called? Chasing this today. Games play against a team who, regardless of where they are, you should City because the so it's a difficult game. You need to look at that where we are right now. Win, but sit there and go on now. What's the goal to run the way to catching Liverpool? This do. What we do is that was a win on for many reasons. Game and hopefully for instance the points to get a Palace are I mean, good result. Palace doesn't mean to say that, for instance, that Manchester City are going to do again. Last season, I said it was 4-2. But we were 1-0 down at the time before Kevin turned up, etc. Now again, so we've got to be more pragmatic. You've got to be more to understand where Manchester City are, and having a Akanji, got to change it again because of Akanji, and we don't. Sorry, I did. Smiling, between each other. Aiming for points, 2 points. Away, was scored back in second place. Does in their injuries and off-form players that we have at the moment. Okay, right, so but anyway, but hopefully, but we come off with a draw and no injuries, going into which basically between Juventus and West. And that's we're to go with Liverpool for having a go at Pep. Pep did bad, which is totally why. It's your 15 minutes of fame. It's your, all you want to do is be an idiot and bring down one of the best managers we're privileged to see in the Premier League, and just for your own media and blah blah blah, like a man off, etc. And should have done your somebody you out. So why does it want to be popular? The scouts, the fan, etc. For instance, go in intention. That is what you got to take. You know, of Carragher, seeing these videos of it's just cheap. It's just for instance, last one he did give to his group. Of plans to what do you call it? What's it called? The base for tickets prices. Yeah. The media, for instance, I saw saying before. Oh, my phone's.